He's right where he should be, on my right shoulder.
Go ahead,
We're on.
Tom.
Okay, Tom.
All right, as chair, I will call the meeting to order. The time is
5:05.
5:05. And before we get on into the agenda, I have something that I am going to read. Notice is hereby given that tonight's IDA meeting will be held using a partial video conference platform pursuant to Governor Cuomo's Executive Order 2002 regarding, it's -1, 2002-1, regarding the open meetings law, authorizing public meetings to be held remotely by conference call or similar service provided that the public has the ability to view or listen to such proceedings. Members of the public may listen to the meeting live by tuning into local channel 22. The meeting agenda is posted online on the town website calendar, as well as the agency website, with instructions for anyone wanting to ask a question or provide a comment. The instructions dictated to email director@riverheadida.org prior to 12 noon on the 1st. No emails were received. The Riverhead IDA is being aired tonight on Channel 22 and will be recorded and later transcribed. Minutes will be produced. The Riverhead IDA may add or remove items from the agenda upon its discretion without further notice. The order in which the agenda appears may also be changed at the discretion of the Riverhead IDA. As a reminder, in which the agenda appears may also be changed at the discretion of the Riverhead IDA. And as a reminder, this is the first meeting since February, and there's a lot of ministerial items to be ratified. With that said, I do have a motion to approve the meeting agenda.
I'll
I get
make
a
the
motion?
motion.
I'll move it. Second.
All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Okay, the proposed agenda is accepted, approved. And now I need a motion for consideration of the minutes for February 3, 2020. Let me have a motion, please.
Make a motion.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Second, thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? All right, that's passed. And the minutes for February 3rd are accepted. Tracy, so far we have no presentations?
That's correct.
Thank you. Correspondence?
I just included the, letter that we sent, on behalf of the agency to the Long Island Regional Control Room on behalf of Atlantis Aquarium. It's in your packet, but you've all seen it.
Okay.
What happened to that?
It went there.
No response.
There's been no response. I spoke with Brian DeLuca from the aquarium today, and, he hasn't received any response from anyone either, except Carol Longworth from, Empire State Development, Long Island Regional Director. She did say she'd send it up the flagpole, but that's where it went, up the flagpole.
Okay. Hopefully we will soon, but, you just stay tuned and let all of the board members know when anything happens from here on out. Next item is the treasurer's report. Mr. Treasurer?
Balance in People's United Bank checking account as of May 29th, 2020 was $29,958.77. Investments, the balance at May 29th, 2020 was as follows: $170,369.21. Municipal money market account bearing interest with an annual rate of 0.2%, of 2%. Revenues for the month of May 2020 include a credit memo issued to Main Road Holdings for the 2019 annual compliance report that was previously billed and determined to be uncollectible. The expenses paid for the month of May 2020 total $26,935.29. Pilots in the second half pilot payments are payable May 31st, 2020. Reminder notices was sent out to the applicable projects on May 1st, 2020. Did I miss something?
No, I'm just handing it to you for the first time. That's the report that needs to be initialed when you get time.
Anything else?
That's it.
Okay. Any questions, observations?
If you'd like to do both of those in one, 1720 and 1720A. 1720A came out of the governance committee during the COVID crisis that we're still undergoing. And it was a request from the executive director to exempt the dual signature requirement on the payroll checks only because they exceeded the applicable amount and required two signatures, but that would require two board members to come out during the crisis and sign these. So in the interest of safety, the governance committee had recommended, and it was agreed by email to ratify that, approve it and ratify that at the next meeting, which is today. So if you want to do that
So
in
the
one.
executive director is suggesting that we do these at the same time while approving the treasurer's report. Okay, will you please add that? And I need a motion, treasurer's report and a new item.
I'll make the motion
I'll
for
second.
1720 and 1720A.
I forgot about that.
I'll second.
Okay, is that including? Yes, it is, okay. All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Right. Treasurer's report is approved. Thank you, Mr. Treasurer. For committee reports, we have an audit report.
Yes, sir, it's in your packet with the yellow tab.
Ah, that's what the yellow tab is for. Everybody got one? You probably don't have a yellow tab on it, do you?
No, it's for your reading. I don't know if I
Oh,
put it in
yeah,
everybody's.
I've got it.
As chair of the audit committee. I may have.
Well, this will explain, unfortunately, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the agency was prevented from meeting in person and was therefore required to circulate necessary material to the members of the board for review and consideration in an effort to meet timely submission deadlines. Material for the audit committee review included the 2019 audit and the associated reports with, such as the investment guidelines, policy and report, the assessment of internal controls report, and the salary and compensation policy. All members received copies of the material and indicated they were in agreement to make recommendation to the entire board for the ratification and adoption of the audit and associated reports and policies during the next available meeting, which is today, June 1. All right, having said that, would somebody give me a motion to accept this?
Motion.
Thank you. Second?
I'll second.
Any questions? All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? All right, that's carried. Thank you. The next one is the governance report.
Okay, the governance committee met virtually for the first time on March 30th, where we continued to review board policies and including clarifying the language in the fee schedule. We also reviewed the Paris report, which is our annual project-specific report that's due to the New York State Comptroller's Office with a due date of March 31st. So we reviewed that and directed the executive director to recommend for approval by affirmative response from the board via email to the whole board, so that that report could be submitted in a timely fashion, and that was in fact done, and the report was submitted on time. The
And then they
committee-
extended the deadline.
And then they extended the deadline, right. The committee then reviewed the annual board evaluation, the responses to the questionnaires that go to each board member. We completed a compliance review of all of our applicant projects, which we do every year, reviewed correspondence, and discussed operational recommendations and guidelines from the governor as we move forward with the business of the IDA. So that was the March 30th meeting. And then the committee met once again on April 24th, where we discussed several issues with regard to fire district exemptions. We discussed the need of the agency to opt out of the New York State Paid Family Leave Act, which is something we do on an annual basis. We discussed the opportunities that might be available to our applicant businesses who may be affected by the COVID crisis, and the fact that there was a program that was established by the Suffolk County IDA that was providing up to $100,000 in sales tax exemptions for businesses that wanted to pivot to a response to the crisis, and talked about being able to steer Riverhead town businesses who may benefit from that to the county's program and getting the word out on that. We discussed the idea of an economic development task force to assist the community in reopening businesses, and wrote some letters of support of some of our applicant businesses who are looking to have some of their operations considered essential during the time of the crisis. So those were the issues that were discussed.
Any questions?
There were several policies that we did
Okay.
recommend minor revisions to, that we got a sense of the board through email and will be ratifying this evening. So that'll all be officially done and made part of the record.
So make a motion? Is it appropriate?
No, that's just the report, so we'll have resolutions at the,
All right, I
further in the
think so.
agenda.
Yeah.
All right, beautiful. All right, thank you. There was no finance committee report. Nope. The report on, is that correct, executive director?
That's correct.
Okay. After a while, you forget how much time has lapsed, but
I know.
I didn't recall one either, okay. The next item, old business,
So, I'm gonna request to table that because I could not find my notes as to why I needed to amend the December minutes at all.
so you'll enlighten us at
I'll
the next
enlighten
meeting.
you when I find it, if we
All
find
right.
it.
Okay.
If anything, it was a minor typo or something, so, not a typo, but nothing major.
Well, did you send out a preliminary?
I didn't.
You did not, okay.
I didn't, no, because I
Well,
went through all
we
my,
can't look
all
for
my
it either,
sent
then.
emails, I was like, where
Right.
did I put, I went through, I don't know what I did.
Okay.
The
It
last
looks like
couple
it's
months.
referencing the resolution 18 of this year. No?
That's what I'm thinking.
I will look, I will look
Okay.
at that, but, I thought it was the approval of the it was resolution 1820 that approved the December minutes.
Oh, I
But
gotcha.
I'll have to check.
I gotcha.
All right, so that's on hold. Tracy looks through her records. somebody give him a motion?
I'll make the motion to table the old business.
Thank you. Second?
I'll second.
All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Okay, it's tabled. Next item, new business. First, we're gonna consider ratifying, adopting, and confirming board policies and reports per resolution 19-20.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Any
Is
discussion?
that Tony?
Yes. Everybody okay with that? All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? All right, resolution 19-20 is approved. Under new business E, considerations of ratifying the submission of the Paris report, which is resolution 2020. A motion, please.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you.
Second.
Second, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? That's approved. Next is a consideration, well, let's go to D and then come back. D is a consideration of opting out of the New York State paid family leave. Number 2220. Need a motion.
I'll move.
Thank you. Second?
Second. Typo.
Has already been discussed? Any
Yes.
more discussion? All those in favor, aye?
Oh, he said typo.
Oh, sorry.
It says 2230.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks, Jim.
Okay, yes. Yes, yes.
All right, so, with the amendment, we have a motion. Need a second on the amendment. Need a second.
I think Bob seconded her.
Okay.
Okay. All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? But that's approved. Now we're going back to C. Consideration of refinance 400 Urban Boulevard, Resolution 2120.
So I'll let Dick discuss this with you, but there's one minor amendment that I forwarded to you today in an email. I highlighted it on the bottom, in the now therefore be it resolved.
This was a project that the board approved back in 2013, the Island Industries, the cold rolled steel stud facility that they acquired and constructed. And it's just a standard refinance. There was a hope for a closing in May. That didn't occur. So the principal is slightly less because there'll be a payment made June 1st. The commitment letter was an amount not to exceed the $2,796,000, and that's a reduction from the original borrowing. You can see of the $3,250,000, and the gap mortgage is estimated to be about $20,000 of bank finance fees, closing costs, etc. So they're not taking any money out of the project. It's strictly refinancing the debt for the construction of the facility and the equipment. Bridgehampton National Bank is the finance institution.
Questions?
I'll make the motion.
The motion is made
I'll second.
and seconded. Those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? All right, so resolution 2120 is approved. We're under new business. This is for a consideration of ratifying, adopting, and continuing board policies and reports. It's shown as resolution.
Nope.
Hmm?
You're repeating. You're under executive director's report at this point.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
No wonder they look familiar.
You forgot to check it off.
That's the way I do that. All right, the executive director's report. Tracy?
G2D development, the market rate apartments downtown that are gonna go in the subway, they wanted to come and present but I felt, their timeline of construction was such that they didn't need to come. At the initial board meeting, given it's the first one with virtual, I wanted to get all the kinks out, but they will come present virtually probably, or depending on what the rules are at that time. Next meeting, we have a draft application in, and they're moving along nicely, in planning. Over the course of the last couple months, Island Water Park, I've also been speaking with their attorneys, and they're working on their application, so it's, you know, it's a good sign that these projects still wanna move forward,
Mhm.
because that certainly is a concern.
Mm-hmm.
This is going so back, we met with the new board members, finally, and gave them a tour of the facility, our office, and, gave some information on how the agency operates, et cetera, and that was positive. We also had a recapture event, and with, from one of the companies who has sold Peconic Management Group on Ostrander Avenue.
So that sale is complete?
That is complete. All the taxing jurisdictions were notified. The recaptured amounts have been paid back to the state and the taxing jurisdictions, and that was a total of $20,162.29. That's completed. The reason we recaptured the benefits, because although we can transfer, if a project remains the same, this project was not remaining the same. Therefore, for the year they had the benefits, we needed to recapture the benefits that they had received and return it to the taxing jurisdictions and the taxpayers. It was mostly sales tax, because the pilot had just begun, and the sales tax itself was about $17,000. Calverton Addiction Treatment Facility pilot amendment was completed, and a new 412A was issued with the assessor's office. I'm told that the assessment role is also going to remain intact this year with regard to our projects.
Very good.
But right before this happened, we had also met with the superintendent of the school district to get some more dialogue, and that went very well. It was a positive meeting. We completed the compliance reports and the reviews. And unfortunately, we do have one company that has still not complied with submitting the annual report. The agency's reached out numerous times to the project and its attorney, only to be rebuffed. So it's, my recommendation at this point, and as historically we've done in the past, to request them to come in for a compliance hearing, if the board so seems fit. I did draft a resolution for consideration. These reports were due February 14th.
And this is for whom?
This is Woolworth Revitalization,
Okay, just wanted to make sure.
and, obviously, it's long overdue, and we have to take some form of action. So, I do have a resolution if that's something the board wants to consider.
All right, we'll consider a motion, please.
What, you wanna take a look? It just
Oh, I
calls them
thought
in
we
for
had it.
hearing at the next available
All right, thank you.
meeting.
In discussing this, we weren't certain to propose a particular date because we've not been given the green light to hold hearings with, applicants. It's not a public hearing in the sense of public input, but it's certainly for the applicant to address the board. And just now that we've learned more about the technology that's available, it may be possible at the next meeting, but we didn't feel that a date would be set and that Tracy could contact all of you by email and agree on a mutually agreeable date if the resolution were adopted without a date.
I did put July 13th for the next available meeting.
Okay, any more questions?
Just to confirm, nobody's responded to you.
Oh, he's responded,
Oh, what's the response?
but he didn't respond with a report. I can forward the dialogue to the board.
Okay, that would be helpful.
I'll make the motion for for the resolution authorizing the hearing for determination of compliance.
A second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? All right, please do, Tracy.
Okay. Also during the governance, did I do that? Also during the governance committee meeting, there were discussions about compliance, and there was a request for a fee waiving on a late pilot payment. And, again, it was sent around to the board prior with, the response was, affirmative by email, pending formal approval during the next board meeting, and that would be for River Edge.
Thank you.
That's the governor's one. You gave me the governor.
Oh, jeez, I gave you the wrong one. That's next. All right. This is for the pilot payment. Did I give you?
Now I have the governor.
It said pilot on it, so I just grabbed it. Did I get to you?
I got it, yeah.
Yes, this is the one. Tracy and I had an opportunity to talk about this during our last meeting, board meeting. And we need a motion.
I had previously sent around their letter of request, and
Mhm.
I received.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you,
Second.
thank you. Any questions? All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you. That motion's approved.
Thank you.
Now on to the next one.
The governor has extended real estate property tax payments for 21 days. I'm suggesting that in accordance with that deadline, that the pilots, and I've checked with council, we can also extend the deadline for the pilot payments. The second half pilot payments, there's only 4. I believe they just came in anyway, but, in the event one did not, if the board wants to consider that, extending the deadline, I drafted a resolution this morning that I just handed to you.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
For review of the circumstances, got it. All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay, that's approved.
All the annual reports and the ST62 annual sales tax report were all submitted on time, shockingly. Late pilots have been submitted to all the taxing jurisdictions. And the last thing is, obviously, the May Cooperstown, conference has been postponed until August.
August.
Yeah.
Of what year? Wishful thinking.
Of what year? Yeah, I know. And I think that is it. There's nothing further on SDNG, right? That's it for my report.
Any other business from the floor?
No?
From the board? All right, before I close this meeting, I just want to say a couple of things about our start for this year. I started with big hopes, and a lot of people in a lot of areas started with big hopes. that didn't last, and a lot of people weren't able to go on from there for a number of reasons, including our inability to do much about it. So, right now, we're in a state of, we have to restart somewhat, that's gonna take some time. But frankly, my opinion, and I hope it's with yours as well, that is, we've got a lot of things that are out there, things being potential projects that have some work to go through, not only with the town of Riverhead, but with us and so forth. So I just want to let all of you know that we had a lot going in the past. We've done a lot. The town of Riverhead has done a lot to its downtown and to EBCAL and beyond. And everybody has been unable to advance for now. But I see nothing but opportunities ahead. And I hope that's true of the rest of the town, the people who own businesses, and everyone else, not only here, but throughout the country and the world, for that matter. And it's good to see you all in person instead of on Zoom. Thank you.
Good to see half of you all.
What's that?
It's good to see half of you all in person.
That's about it, yeah, even with the mask. So let me adjourn this meeting at, what time is it?
5:36.
5:36. All those in favor, aye?
Aye. We have to go into the LDC
Yeah.
meetings. I don't know if Larry knows that.
Larry knows.
He's ready, right? Okay. All right, I'd like to call to order the Executive Job Development Corporation Board meeting at
5:37.
5:37 PM. We need an adoption of the proposed agenda. Need a motion?
I'll make the motion. Second.
Motion, Tony. Second, Bob. All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Okay, approved. Number 3, approval of the minutes. The meeting head of the Economic Job Development Corporation, Resolution 7-20, the meeting of January 6, 2020. You
Make
still
the
got the
motion.
December thing for this too, or not?
No.
Okay,
I'll make the motion.
thank you. Second?
I'll second.
All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
All right. Correspondence of the Board Council, Riverhead Charter School.
So we received, notice from the IRS that, they completed their examination of the bond issues for the Riverhead Charter School and decided to close the examination with no change. The bonds will keep their tax advantage status as qualified tax credit bonds for the qualified, school, I don't know, QSCB. I forgot what's the acronym for, qualified QSCB.
They're tax exempt bonds.
Yeah.
They're federally tax exempt, and because of that, they're exempt from state tax. The feds wanted to audit to be sure that the proceeds from the financing did in fact go to the facilities that were to be constructed, and the proceeds did go all to the facilities to be constructed, and that was proven to the IRS's satisfaction.
So this isn't an annual investigation?
This is an audit in the nature of a random
Okay.
audit of compliance with the bond documents and your proceedings. So the Internal Revenue Service has determined that all of your proceedings were correctly performed, and that as correctly performed, the applicant performed their side of the bargain as well and constructed the facility in accordance with what you directed.
That's
It's not
always nice to
unusual.
hear.
Yeah, it is.
Well, it speaks well of the agency, and it speaks well of the applicant, because there, often in audits, there can be small matters that are perhaps not important to the layperson, but can cause huge headaches in reality as the audit develops, and you got a completely clean audit, so that's something to be
Qualified
pleased
school
with.
construction bond.
Mm-hmm.
I knew it would come to me eventually.
Construct.
brain.
This doesn't need a motion, does it? It's
No.
information? Okay, well, that's good to hear. We're on to the treasurer's report, Mr. Treasurer.
Balance in the LDC account as of May 29th, 2020 was $502.95. Activity included a wire transfer fee refund of $30 and an account analysis fee of $3 that is to be refunded.
Yeah.
Okay,
I charge $1.50 to do that account analysis.
The fees are crazy.
tell me again, what's the 500 doing in there? What's it a combination of?
It's,
We collect $250 for each transaction, and there's 2 a year.
Okay, should have known, thank you. All right, need a motion?
No.
I'll move it. Second?
That was Tony?
Yes.
Do you have a second?
Bob?
Kern?
All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, treasurer's report is approved. Committee reports, audit.
That would be your yellow tab again, sir?
Oh, that's what, where it is. Same one?
It's a little different.
Okay.
But similar.
Let me read this. Unfortunately, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, agency was prevented, excuse me. The agency was prevented from meeting in person and was therefore required to circulate necessary material to members of the board for review and consideration in an effort to meet timely submission deadlines. Material for the audit committee review included the 2019 audit and associated reports such as the investment guidelines policy and report to the assessment of the internal controls report. All members received copies of the material and indicated they were in agreement to make recommendations to the entire board for the ratification and adoption of the audit and associated reports and policies during the next available meeting, which is today. Okay? What else we need to do with it?
Well, since you motioned to approve the report during the last meeting, you want to do it again for this one?
Yes, we should, okay. Give me a motion.
Bob Kern?
Thank you. Second?
I'll second.
All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
The governance report?
The LDC Governance Committee met on March 3rd virtually, March 30th. And again, we reviewed the Paris report, the annual reports, and the board policies, including the disposition of real property policy, the mission statement and measurement report, the report on operations, the local labor policy, the sexual harassment policy, the procurement report, and amendments to the schedule of fees, fee waiving policy, procurement policy, and statement of board duties will be considered in resolutions on this agenda.
Your committee was certainly very busy, huh?
It was. Well, that's our annual review, so.
It was
Okay.
fun. Most of this was to bring it up to consistency with the policies that we have with the IDA.
I was gonna say, I should have said, they mirror
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
we
Mirror
do
image,
for
yeah.
the IDA.
We still need a motion. I'll move it. Thank you. Second, thanks. All those in favor? Excuse me. Let me see it. We'll have it. Okay, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? The governance report is accepted. Finance committee, none. Old business, none. New business. A is consideration of ratifying, adopting, and confirming board policies and reports, resolution 9-20.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you. Second.
Second.
Thank you, Tony. All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? All right, that's approved. B, consideration of ratifying the submission of Paris report, resolution 10-20. Need a motion? Thank you. Bob? Second?
I'll second.
All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay, that's accepted. C. Consideration of designation of the official paper, resolution 1120. A motion, please.
I'll make the motion.
Second,
I'll second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
I was going through our stuff and it was approved in 18 with no end date,
Mhm.
that I figured we just ought to refresh it, so I do it in there.
Okay. And it's approved. And, new business D, consideration of legal bond counsel. This is a resolution 1220. A motion, please.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
I'll second.
Okay, thanks. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? All right, that's approved. Anything else? Any new business, any?
No, sir.
And with that, we'll adjourn our meeting at, what time is it?
5:46. Do you have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Second, did you say second? I'm sorry. All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Okay, we are adjourned. Thank you all.
Stay
Thank you all
safe.
for coming. Yes, stay safe. Wash your hands.